for our laundry to be done. So what do you do when you wait for your laundry to be done? You eat ice cream. And that's what we're doing right now. It's important that you eat ice cream because if you don't eat ice cream before your laundry is done, it doesn't dry all the way. So when we're done eating this ice cream, our laundry will then be dry. And we did take showers, so our clothes will smell pretty good for a half a day until we walk tomorrow. Then they'll smell bad again. It's a pretty nice campground, but it's mostly a trailer campground. All the sites have hookups, and we got a cabin. It's supposed to be $58, but we got the hiker rate, so they cut that in half. So that was a really good deal for both of us, and they're nice. They even have an air conditioning. So we're gonna rest well tonight before tomorrow. Today's Monday, and after climbing 1.5 miles back up to the trail from the cabin we were at yesterday, which is a very nice cabin, nice campground, but the climb was a little tough. But now we're at Pulpit Rock, probably one of the better views in Pennsylvania. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning roughly, and this is Pulpit Rock. And I believe that's the one of those over there, maybe that is Lehigh Peak or something. And this is the valley. Pretty. Somewhere out there is, oh, right down there is the rock field that we saw in one of my earlier photos. So that means the campground is right over there. Just on the other side, or behind Pulpit Rock, is this observatory. They have several places for telescopes. That's pretty cool. And I don't know what that is, but they have one up here. And what is this? Look at that, that's cool. So right here in Lehigh Valley. So, and they got phone towers, so I should get really good reception here. Well, here we come to another overlook, and this one is beautiful. Wow. The rocks go all the way down there, and you can see out everywhere. We were on the other side of that little hill there. We were back that way. You can see some of the town down there. So we passed that hill, and we have these, I guess, I don't know what you call this, but they look, call them like table rocks. This is gorgeous. So I'm gonna walk, the trail I believe goes that way. I'm gonna walk down these rocks a little bit because they just look so nice. Wow. This is gorgeous. That over there is where the pinnacle was, with all those flat rocks with the great view that you could see all out over there. So we walked along that ridge line, then at some point we went down, and then we had to climb this mountain over here, and now we're walking along the ridge line this way, and we keep walking the ridge line all the way towards the Delaware Water Gap. The only time we go any more climbs is when we go down into, I think, 2 different towns. One is Lehigh and one is Wind Gap, and then we got to climb back up on the ridge. So I think for the rest of today we'll be just walking fairly flat, rocky but fairly flat ridges to where we're going to stop. It's Tuesday morning. It rained good storm last night. Well, early this morning. It's supposed to clear up by 7, but I think this is going to linger longer than 7. Maybe not rain, but it's pretty foggy. And I'm trying to get to a gravel road, which is 10 miles, or a little less, 9, where my friend Jim's going to pick me up. and I get to have dinner at his house, which will be really nice, plus resupply. And the hiking was really easy for the first 5 miles. It was like a gravel road almost. But now, right after that, we're in some significant rocks. But the worst part is, normally I'd go over these big rocks pretty fast. But as it is with the rain, they're slippery, and I can't afford to slip off one of these rocks. So let me show you what I'm kind of rocks that I'm walking through, and some places they're even worse. And there's where I came from. And it's all I need to do. These rocks that have the darker surface on there are very slippery. And so I've got to be very careful what I step on and place my foot so it's not going to slide. So this really slows me down. I was doing over 3 miles an hour on the flat section. This slows me down to about 2, maybe even a little less than 2 miles an hour. Nothing I can do about it. I said keep pushing on. But I only have about 2.5 miles to go. I have to be there by 11, and I think it's around 9:30, so I should be good. To add to the slippery rocks, I just went about another 30 feet, and here's where I gotta climb up on this ridge here. I gotta be really careful with this rain and humidity, because that's where I came from. And these rocks are slippery with all these lichens on there. I really gotta go slow here. Wow, this is nuts. This is every bit as tough as the White Mountains as far as rock scrambling. I'm at the top right now. I believe this is the top, but this is really something. This is where I gotta go still, and this is where I am, standing on this rock here, and right down there. Don't want to go that way. That's where I came from, and I have to rock scramble up this on wet rocks. Oh joy. So let me continue and be real careful. Wow. What should have taken me about 5 minutes took me about 25 minutes to do. And it was pretty technical and tricky to get over those rocks. Whoa. I'm not on the rocks now. I'm just on the pathway with the ankle breakers. But I was real careful, and even then, sometimes my footing would slip a little bit. I had to put my poles away a couple times just so that I could get a better grip. I had to tighten down my pack so it wouldn't move around at all. That was as technical as I've ever done on a backpacking trip, even up in the White Mountains. Nothing surpassed that yet. I don't know what Southern Maine's going to be like, but that was a tough section. It was probably about 75 yards of that type of rock scrambling, and it doesn't sound like a long way, but man, it was hard in this wet weather. I mean, if it was dry, I probably would have been through there in 5 minutes, no problem, because I like to cruise over the tops of those kind of rocks. But being wet and slippery, it was quite challenging. Anyway, we're done with that, I think. So now I'm just going over the normal rocks on the trail, trying to get to my pickup without blood all over me. But I don't have any on me, so that's good. I made it to Bake Oven Road, where I'm supposed to be picked up by my buddy Jim. And so there's a parking lot right up over there where I'll wait. And I'm here at like 10 after 9, and I left at about 6 in the morning. So I was doing over 3 miles an hour on the flat sections, because leading the first half was really flat road-like conditions. Then the bare mountain rocks or whatever, bare rocks, whatever. That was that really bad, dangerous rock scrambling section. And then the last quarter of the way was like a road again, a gravel road, so that was really fast. So even with that slow section, I averaged just over 3 miles an hour, which is pretty good. So when I was walking, I was probably doing more than 3 miles an hour. But now it's 9, I gotta wait till 11 here. So I'm gonna look around, see if there's any berries to pick or do something while I'm here. Anyway, that's it for now. While I was waiting for Jim, there's some people who just showed up and they're setting up some serious trail magic. And they told me to sit down. They gave me a dry shirt to put on while I'm waiting. Boy, they're really nice people. The two guys did it a through hike in 2016. So these are just really nice people here. Trucks, they're pulling out everything like that. I asked to help and they wouldn't let me help. So what were your guys' trail names?
I was Chopper.
Chopper?
He was Mountain Goat.
Mountain Goat. I've heard of mountain goats before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was, I think 3 of us on the trail in 16. One was an Australian girl.
Okay. My name's SpEd.
What is it?
SpEd.
SpEd?
Yeah. That's short for special ed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't teach. All right, it's Wednesday and my friend Jim dropped me off on the trail and I'm going over the mountains and the blueberries are officially out in Pennsylvania, which is going to slow me down even more because I love these. Are wonderful blueberries, and look at them. There's all blueberries all over the ground here. They're all blueberries. So I'm going to pick a handful here before I move on, which is going to delay me a little bit, but I don't care. I like blueberries. Well, after 11 o'clock, and I made it to the Lehigh Valley, the Lehigh River I got to cross here. And I'll show you what I got to climb up on the other side to get back up to the ridge. Bridge, Lehigh River, and I got to climb up over there. I don't know exactly the route, but it's going to be a lot of rock climbing up that mountain. Wow. They have an alternate route for the winter because it gets too treacherous, I guess, but that's going to be a tough one. Plus, there's no water for about 10 miles on that ridge, so I got to carry an extra bottle or 2 of water up that hill. This just adds a lot more weight. Wow. Well, I'm going across the bridge now here, and I only had 1 bottle of water and I need at least 2 more because there's no water for 10 miles, as I said. And I thought there was something around here, library or something, but apparently not. But there is a auto repair shop right on the corner of the bridge. So I went over there, and right on the sign on the door it said, "No hikers, no, you cannot use the bathroom." So I was like, oh well, I need water, so I went in there anyway, and there was a woman at the desk. She was nice enough, and I said, "No, I don't want to use your bathroom. I just wondered if I could have some water because I missed the last spring." And she said, "You have any bottles that you sell or soda or anything?" She said, "No, but you can have some of the water from the water cooler there." So I got to fill up my bottles there. She was nice and let me fill both of my bottles up. So I have 3 bottles now, which I think should get me to 10 miles. And I drank a whole bottle while I was filling them up just to hydrate. Anyway, so here we're approaching the mountain, and it looks really rocky and high. I'm not sure where the trail goes up, but I think it's on this side. Right up there somewhere. I don't know. Here's the Lehigh area. Lehigh River down this way. But the first spring up there, which is only about 3 or 4 miles down the trail, they warn you not to drink from it because it was tested and showed levels of heavy metals, which I think zinc was one of them, because there used to be a zinc mine somewhere around here. So, don't want to drink that. Alright, I'm halfway up the other side of the Lehigh. There it is down there. There's the mountain I came from. And we walked across that bridge and came up here. Now we're starting to get into rock scrambling. See, that's where I just came up from. And I gotta go up here, and I gotta go up there. I mean, this is just as much rock scrambling as in the White Mountains. I'm about halfway. See, all the blazes are on the rocks because there's really no place to put it on a tree here. There's the blazes. So you have to follow them all along the rocks there as we go up. I'm not quite at the top, but this is a point that's a real good lookout. You can see behind me there is actually the top, a little further past there. But from here, oh, you can see all around. It's really, really neat. So I'll turn this around here. But here's my pack, and this isn't the side I had to climb up. I had to climb up over there, and then come over around that side and climb up over here. It was actually a lot of fun because I don't mind climbing rocks. I was less hot and tired climbing these rocks than walking up the first part, which was just a steep hill. It's a little breezier up here too, but it's nice. So you can just see, I forget what town that is on this side. And there's the Lehigh River. And that's the mountain we came down when we were walking that ridge. There's some people rafting down there. And right over, we came down that mountain right here, and that's where I got some water from them in their water cooler. They let me do that. And I came across the bridge here, and then I went to the light over there and back around here and came up the mountain here. And then over there, I don't know what airport, but Palmerton, the town of Palmerton is over there. So that must be it in the distance right around here. And I think Jim, my friend, probably I could see their house from here if I had nice binoculars, because they're in a development somewhere around there. And when you are at the edge of their development, you can see right where I am. This rock ledge here. So that's pretty neat. It's Friday. Is it Friday? Again, I just can't tell. I think it's Thursday. And I just did 20 to the shelter. But from what I understand, they have the Baptist church or Methodist, I think it's the Methodist church, has a spaghetti dinner tonight for backpackers. So I'm doing the extra 6 miles to go down there instead of tomorrow. That'll put me right at the town before I cross into Jersey. But this is, that's Pennsylvania. And there's a really nice campsite here, which I will not be able to camp in because I'm going down here. Anyway, if you look right there, there's 2 smokestacks. That's the Delaware River there, and the Delaware River goes all the way along that. So we're going over this way to the Delaware Water Gap when we cross. But it's a nice area here. All right, here it is, the Delaware Water Gap from the Pennsylvania side. So there's the New Jersey side, and down below is the Delaware River and Route 80. So now I have to climb down here, and it's 2.1 miles to the Methodist church where they're having a spaghetti dinner for backpackers. Oh yeah, that's where I'm going. The interesting thing is we missed the rhododendron bloom down south, but we've walked fast enough that we're just at the beginning of it here in Pennsylvania, and they're a different color. They're more white and slightly pink here. And down south they were more lavender, but we're just in the beginning of the bloom now. So I'm not missing it, but again, I'll probably be past it, the real major bloom, where it just covers everything. But what is blooming now is very pretty. Presbyterian Church dinner for hikers, and we get to sit with the people from the church and talk with them and everything like that. And they let us set our tents up here. You don't have to duck. And they also have a bunkhouse over there. So this is just like really great. Nope. This is absolutely great. Look what I got on my plate. And look at all the people over there. This is all homemade food. And we're gonna eat it all, and then they have ice cream later. I am so psyched. this is just great. All right, I'm about to cross the Route 80 bridge from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, back home in my home state. So this is pretty exciting. After a great night at the Presbyterian Church, we had a great meal. And I slept in my tent, but it was nice, bathroom, shower. They gave us towels and that, so it was really good. So here we go, starting to walk across the bridge. All right, there's the Delaware River, and the gap is right up there ahead where you see that cloud hanging. That's the actual water gap. But here's the Delaware River, and here we go. Pennsylvania, New Jersey. I've now walked from Georgia all the way back to my home state, New Jersey. When I get to the information center on the other side of the gap, that means I'll have done at some point the whole trail up to the border of Maine, because I used to section hike with my son from New Jersey all the way up to the border of Maine. But for this through hike, I got to go all the way to the end, Mount Katahdin in Maine, in 1 year, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, I've been walking for about an hour now since crossing the border into New Jersey. And you can see I have my screen on because the gnats were just really bothering me. So I had to put this on. It's really humid. It's supposed to go up to 90, so I'm already, my shirt's just saturated with water. But I just reached 1,300 miles that I've hiked. So this is exactly on the nose according to Thru.